Welcome back. Uh, Now we look at how we're going to secure the organization, operation unit, and also the account network. Now we're going to down to some of the example here and the best practice in terms of how we can to secure the workload and also the operation unit. This is an example here. We're going to have a operation unit security, and in the security, obviously we're going to have like IAM roles permissions, and also going to have config aggregations, event bridge for the event, guard duty for threat monitoring, security hub for all the security, management, file manager for the firewall configurations, Lambda for the state function. And also the IAM access analyzer for analyzes the users, the last access of the users, the MISI, which is for the data protections, detective, that's for the threat monitoring, and KMS, which is for the key management. Now all those components, they are tied up by the security hub, which is really the central security control hub for the security operation unit. So that's the workload should be designed, and also for the development. For example, for the development team, let's say they're going to have EC2 instance or containers, and also the Aurora or maybe RDS server, RDS instance in the VPC. So we're going to have the different layers. Obviously, they have to got the things such as the IAM permissions, secret managers, which is to store their credentials, and S3 data bucket for the credentials, the key management. We're going to talk about that later on. Now let's move on to the first two things. Those instances, they're probably going to do the develop the code and and then upload towards GitHub. So we're going to have the inspector, which is doing the vulnerability scans. We're also going to use a session manager, which is a session manager agent, which is going to do the logins, security logins. It is best practice to using session manager to do that instead of using the Bayesian or jump machines. We're also going to have the endpoint, which is to control tied up by attached to this VPC, such as key management, KMS, system management, which is all the patchings and patching and installations and config and also the S3 bucket. So those are three of the things we are going to attach and link with the AWS KMS, the system manager, and also the S3 bucket. The flow logs we are going to send out to the CloudTrade or CloudWatch. The Congenator, AWS Congenator, we're going to provide a single sign-on services. And also all those security management are going to tie up. We're going to link to the security hub. Guard duty, we're going to do this threat monitoring. Config, we're going to do the config configuration, ops management, and also the messy data impression, data protections, access analyzer, event bridge. Now, let's have a look on how we're going to delegate the authority down to the administration, because you're not going to expect the downstream administrator going to revoke some of the policy which it doesn't want by the upstream authorities. So you're going to set up, let's say, SAP and control the boundary of the security policy when they create the IAM. Also, you're going to create the on the organization account, you're going to create up the SAP for things such as the cloud trials and system managers and single sign-on. And then downstream, they can, using their ones to create whatever things. For instance, like you specify, on the security workload account IAM, the administrator, they can using config aggregator, guard duty, threat monitoring, security hub, and firewall manager, and IAM, and Aurora messages. Uh, if if the stuff which is didn't defined by the organization, they can have it. And also, if let's say some of the IAM rule which is not allowed to have it, as long as it's defined by the operation management account, the boundary, we're going to deny the permit. The next one we're going to move towards the source code reference act, the source code. Okay, uh, you know, 5 different steps of the source code, which is set up the environment through the control tower, also the pipelines, push the pipeline and clone the GitHub repository, download the uh, you know, SRA code, do the vulnerability scan, and then package them up and move towards Lambda and get the Lambda functions to get into the management account. And there's a requirement of the library. You're going to make sure the library is compliant, and also you're going to make sure the upload and the stage configuration files such as config, CT, which is including parameter file, manifest file, and template file are going to be included, and also later on we're going to check the pipelines.